Alright, so here's the fastest way to level up your weapons in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone Season 2 right now. Most methods will get you to max weapon level in under 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the mode, but they're very quick, they're really good, and I know that leveling up weapons can be a struggle, so look no further, this is the video for you. Now be sure to leave a like if you find the video useful, and check out my other Season 2 videos, like how to level up the Battle Pass fast, Warzone tips, camo guides, that kind of thing. There'll be timestamps in the description if you want to jump to a specific part of the video, but without further ado, let's get into the tips. So first things first is the class setup. Now I know this sounds a little bit silly, but most people don't appreciate that lots of your class setup can secretly earn you more weapon XP just from doing absolutely nothing other than having a certain class. So really important to start off with that. I think we'll go through that quickly and then we'll talk about other tips for the different multiplayer modes, and then we'll go on to Warzone and things like that as well. So for multiplayer, the class you generally want, for the perks you're going to want in tier 1 to put on extra tactical and scavenger, or you can put on tracker. Scavenger will let you resupply ammo from dead players, and tracker will obviously let you see enemy footprint trails. Tier 2 you want to put on fast hands to reload faster, and overclock in tier 3, which helps you earn field upgrades faster. I'll explain in a second why that's so important. Then for the tactical equipment, you're going to want to put on the decoy grenades, as these count towards weapon XP, so obviously having the extra tactical perk will help you have more decoy grenades. For the lethal equipment, you want to put on something like a Semtex, as you can throw it easily, it goes quite far, and it sticks on surfaces and can easily get you kills. Lethal equipment will get you weapon XP as well, so definitely worth bearing that in mind. A lot of people don't realise that. And then for the field upgrades, I'd recommend putting on something like the DDoS. It's better than smoke airdrop, as it's easy to activate and it recharges quicker, and you can use it while you're shooting and moving, and it's much quicker to do, so you can get through them much faster. It shows up with a black bar when there's devices that you can DDoS, so I would say that's much better and much easier to use. For score streaks, you do want to make sure they're score streaks and not kill streaks, so toggle it onto score streaks so that score counts towards the streaks, whether that's tags or domination, flag points, whatever, it'll all count. And what you want to do is put on something like a UAV and then a counter UAV and then another option such as a sentry turret, VTOL, something like that. This will all get you weapon XP as well, believe it or not, and it will also help you get kills. So like the UAV will help you find people to get more kills, but yeah, the XP should count towards your weapon XP itself, so it's really important that you put something good down. So like if you're on a busy area of the map, you could put down a sentry turret and that should get you some weapon XP as well. So it all kind of counts, which is really helpful towards getting this thing done fast. Now in terms of the best game modes, right now I'd say it's shipment 24/7 mosh pit, but most people will kind of just blindly run around the map getting kills thinking that that will level up their weapons fast, but they're kind of wrong. So let's look at what you need to do instead to actually level up your weapons fast rather than just blindly running around the map. So of course getting kills is an important part of weapon XP, so obviously you do want to push for as many kills as you can, and you obviously want to aim down sight before going around corners, taking cover, pushing into enemy spawns, flank around the edges of map, that kind of thing. And when you spawn in, you want to throw your decoy grenades. You're going to have 3 of them, so if you're on shipment, so I would throw 1 in the left lane, 1 straight ahead like on the right hand side, and then 1 in the middle lane to cover as much ground as you can. Obviously if you're on a different map, just throw them wherever, just try and spread them out into high flow areas. Each time you throw these 3 decoy grenades, you'll see loads of decoy assist XP popping up, normally up to about 260 XP per spawn from the 3 decoys, so it's really good, and this alone will get you many thousands of XP by the end of the match, let alone the other stuff. So you want to keep rushing around getting kills, and when your DDoS field upgrade is charged and the meter fills black with at least 1 bar to show devices in range, you want to activate your DDoS. This will give you at least 60 to 100 XP, if not more, per use. And obviously this thing recharges very quickly thanks to your overclock perk and fast base recharge time, so you can call in these many times throughout the match to get lots of XP. It's very easy to use, like I say, it takes around a second to activate, and you can still shoot your weapon if there are enemies near while you're using it. And it's better than a smoke airdrop, which has slightly higher XP but much slower recharge, and it takes longer, so you're at risk of dying when you're using it, that kind of thing. Finally, you want to go for the objective as much as you can, as this will get you more XP too, so make sure you have the weapon you want to level up in your hand. For example, if you're on kill confirmed, you want to collect as many dog tags as you can. If you're on domination, capture the dom flags or sit on them and shoot enemies to defend it, or you can obviously kill enemies on dom flags as well. And for hardpoint, you want to capture the hardpoint or defend the team's hardpoint, or you can even attack enemies on their hardpoint to get more XP than just normal kills. So that's all kind of what I'd say for shipment, although obviously a lot of those tips apply to any other mode as well. It's just it kind of works best on shipment, but any mode, if you want to do the dome, mosh pit or anything like that, whatever works fine will do. There's a few other methods as well though, so for example, as well as getting kills, be sure to use your weapon to destroy enemy equipment, field upgrades and kill streaks, as this adds up XP as well. And you obviously want to try to go for more exciting kills when you can, which will earn you medals and therefore more XP. So for example, headshots, long shots, bloodthirsties, rapid kills, that kind of thing. So other modes you can think about are things like the tier 1 or hardcore mode. It was tier 1 before, I think they're bringing in the hardcore mode for season 2, hopefully that's better. Enemies will have have less health, so they die faster, so it's easy to get lots of kills and rack up weapon XP fast. So if they've got a good mode in that hardcore playlist, definitely go for that if you can. Other objective modes you want to think about are things like domination and hardpoint, as completing these objectives will count towards your XP too. Like I said, definitely try and go for mosh pits if you can, like shoot house, shipment or dome. That will be new to season 2. I'm sure that'll be a playlist. And ideally you want to combine this with good modes like kill confirmed or domination and hardcore as well. So if you get like hardcore, shipment, domination or something like that, or hardcore, shipment, kill confirmed, that's like a dream, because that's like the ultimate combo of XP across all the different versions of modes. If you're not playing normal multiplayer modes, then what else could you play? Well, you could play Invasion. That's kind of quite good. You can keep your ammo topped up where possible, as it runs out very quickly. You want to resupply ammo when going past reserves. Use scavenger if you have it to pick up ammo from dead players. Visit areas with ammo reserves and consider using the munitions box field upgrade. I'd also recommend getting into or near enemy spawns, which is on the far side of the map, as this will allow you to get many more kills, and you can either flank around the edge of the map or use vehicles. And then once you're in or near enemy spawns, you can place attack insertion if you have it unlocked, as this will allow you to respawn in the same place without having to trek across the map. So it's really quite useful, and I'd try and exploit opportunities to get lots of enemy kills. So for example, in spawns you can shoot AI enemies deploying from helicopters periodically, that kind of thing. It can be really good, although it's kind of gone out of fashion a little bit now because it's a bit more tedious than other methods. I wouldn't say it's the best mode anymore, but it's definitely quite good, and it can be a nice change of pace. But for more difficult weapons that aren't sort of your standard ballistic weapons, so for weapons like the combat knife, launchers, riot shield, that kind of thing, you want to keep them as your secondary weapon and then switch to it when playing an objective mode. So for example, kill confirmed when you're getting the tag, or like domination when you're capturing a flag, that kind of thing. This will allow you to get a lot of passive weapon XP fast, and then obviously once it's a little bit higher, you can kind of finish it off by using that weapon as your main thing. But I think for the most part it's probably easier just to have it as your secondary and passively do it slowly, rather than trying to cram all that XP in a short amount of time and really struggle with the weapon because it's difficult. So that's what I do, but it's completely up to you guys what you do. Similarly, you can have a riot shield on your back and then bring it out and use it for certain things, to bash people when it's a good opportunity, or again for a capturing flag or a tag or something like that. So that's for multiplayer. What about Warzone? Currently for BR, there's no unlimited respawn mode like Plunder, hence we have to play BR, but I think there'll be the Resurgence Ashika Island mode, so that'll be kind of quite similar, and that'll be quite good. You should be able to get loadouts from that, and it'll be easier to find weapons as well to pick up as floor loot. But if you're playing BR or even Ashika Island, you can collect your weapons from floor loot or buying a loadout, and you can buy the primary weapon alone, which is cheaper, and the best method right now is to complete contract, I would say. So safe cracker is a good one. What you want to do is start the contract, 3 safes to open. When you open a safe, it will detonate C4. Don't get too close or you'll take explosion damage. Then try to get between the safes as quickly as possible with like a heli or an ATV quad bike or something like that. That's a quite decent one. The other one is intel. So you want to start the contract, find intel on the laptop, then head to a computer terminal to upload the intel. You want to use vehicles to keep completing contracts as fast as possible, and you want to try to land on a quieter area of the map away from the flight path, as that way you're not going to be disturbed by people trying to shoot you. I'd also say you can use the store to level up weapons. So there is something about, so you know, if you collect cash, you can ideally land at business buildings like shops, gas stations, that kind of thing, and these will have lots of cash registers which contain decent amounts of cash. Obviously that in itself will help, but you can also loot cash from most buildings, so you want to check every room or shelf. Once you've looted a bunch of cash or gained cash from contracts, you want to head over to a buy station, and you can continually buy cheap items such as the armor plates until you spent all your money. This will get you, well, it used to give you a lot of weapon XP. I think it now gives you a little bit, nowhere near as much as it did, but it still gives you some from buying stuff, so it's definitely worth it at the end of a game. Also, just staying in the match as long as possible, that will actually get you XP. So even just surviving passively will give you XP. So just try and have the weapon out in your hand and survive as long as possible. That will give you a nice juicy bonus of a few hundred to perhaps even a few thousand more XP, literally just from doing nothing other than just surviving. So it's not all about doing contracts and collecting stuff, literally just living is good as well. So that's it for BR, but what about DMZ, the other Warzone mode? Well, this is obviously new to Warzone 2, or it was last season. It involves spawning in, looting, doing objectives, killing enemies, and exfilling. And you can find floor loot or buy weapons in the game, or you can select a custom weapon to spawn in with, but this has a cooldown obviously. You've also got the contraband weapons, the realism element where if you bring a weapon in and you die without exfilling, you lose the weapon and you have to pick it up again as floor loot. Each AI bot gives you about 100 weapon XP, and looting gives you weapon XP too, and obviously staying alive will give you passive XP too. So keep looting as much as possible and get as many AI bot kills as you can. Remember to restock on ammo regularly. This is quite a good way because you can choose what weapon you go in with and get a lot of XP, but it is harder because the AI can be quite tough, so make sure you're happy and not running and gunning too much. Just take it a little bit more chilled, do the contracts, loot, get kills, get money and so on, and buy stuff. But yeah, I think this one will be quite good. Probably better than BR in the sense that with normal BR you can't choose your weapon, whereas with DMZ you can, so it can be beneficial in that point of view. So definitely I think it'll be quite good for weapon XP. And then finally the weapon weapon XP boosts. Let's talk about those. Now, the first one is that the double weapon XP weekends are quite common. There'll probably be one coming up soon, so take advantage of these. The next thing is double weapon XP tokens. You can get these from free PlayStation packs in the store if you're on PlayStation, so check the PS store. The campaign has, I think, at least 4 weapon XP tokens, so feel free to check out my campaigns guide playlist if you need. Also, the DMZ faction missions, if you go to certain tiers, they will get you weapon XP tokens as well, so that would be good. Keep an eye out for that and try and do those. Also, the For You section of the store occasionally has bundles with XP tokens, so that's useful. And then obviously leveling up the battle pass to certain tiers, or certain sectors in this case, will get you weapon XP tokens too. There may at some point be challenges where you get bonuses for, like, through the daily challenges for doing weapon XP tokens, but not sure about this yet. We'll have to see. Couple more things. If you're on PlayStation, playing with a teammate will give you a 25% weapon XP bonus, so pair this with the other tips and you'll level up your guns really fast. Finally, in Warzone specifically, players who own Modern Warfare 2 will get an XP and weapon XP bonus at the end of the match, so don't leave early, stay in the match and you'll get a bonus, so that's really important too. So what's the best mode? It really depends. I would say if you can find a weapon that you want to level up, which can be more difficult, Warzone's probably the best. Otherwise, DMZ's not bad, although it can be quite tough at times, but I'd say if there's a good playlist in multiplayer, that's probably the best. So, you know, in terms of convenience, finding a weapon you want and get easily able to get lots of XP. So, you know, ones like Shipment, Shoot House, or something like Dome, or another Mosh Pit, something like that would be quite good, although because of the skill-based matchmaking, it'd be quite tough at times. But that's probably the easiest one, although you have got to grind, so it just depends what you want to do. They're all decent in different ways. But yeah, those are the fastest ways to level up your guns currently in Modern Warfare 2. They should all take you, these methods, less than 20 to 30 minutes to max out a weapon really quick. If you found these tips helpful, leave a like on the video would be much appreciated so other people can find the video too. If you have any other tips I didn't mention, then make sure to share them with us in the comments section. As I previously mentioned, I'm also making tons of other useful multiplayer, co-op and Warzone guides, so if any of this sounds good to you guys, hitting the subscribe button and clicking the bell icon next to it to turn on post notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone videos would be greatly appreciated. But thank you all so much for watching the video, and hopefully I'll see you all on the next one.